and I mentioned at the beginning when we were talking about like when I was crestfallen when maybe I didn't mention this. So this guy walks up to me and I thought he was aware of the podcast. Like whether they watch it or not, because these are people I see at certain events fairly regularly. And he was like, I didn't know you had a podcast. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of, again, it's like that
deflating.
It's that deflating moment where you're like, I thought of all the people and you fit the demographic that you would have been aware, or we all hang out with the same people. So clearly they're not talking about my podcast around you.
Got it.
You know, and I'm like, okay, well, here's my card, you know.
Sure.
Check out the show sometime.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's so right now I know you got some big things happening with like gift cards. Can you talk through that? And that whole concept and how it's going? And
it's going swimmingly. It's been the best thing ever. I think long story short, we were looking for a way to get businesses foot traffic. All Things Madison is not for exposure. What we try to do is help a business make money because you have to have money to keep going. Everybody could hear about your store, but if they are not going, you don't survive. So I've had the idea for some type of subscription service since the end of 2020. And then it really took hiring my team member, Lauren, to pull it together. And it is very hard. It is very complicated, even though it seems very simple on the receiving end. The behind the scenes is not easy, but we love it. And we think we have a really good product because of how we look at we dot every I, cross every T, so that it is something great, which will lead to longevity. Very simple. The start of every quarter, you pay $30 one time on allthingsmadisonmerchandise.com, and then you get an envelope with 3 gift cards to Madison businesses over the next 3 months. So it's funny to hear like people say, I race my husband to the mailbox, the 1st through the 5th of every month because we want to see what the businesses are going to be. There's that experiential thing, which is fun. It's also not a coupon card. It has no strings attached. It is a gift card. You want to spend $9? Go spend $9 on your gift card. The majority of people are going to spend over $10, so it will put some money back in the business's pockets, but they're on board with doing it because A, it gets them the foot traffic. B, people are likely going to spend above and beyond by choice. And then C, they're going to tell their family and friends. D, they're coming back. Yeah. And we do complimentary ads for them, because we want to showcase for people who have received those cards, here's how you can go utilize that restaurant or that business or that clothing store. So
just real quick, the imagery in my mind when they think of like people running to the mailbox.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Stitch Fix?
Oh, my fix shipped today. Yeah. I've been a customer for 7 years.
Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of thing like, ooh, I wonder what's going to be in the box. Now, I've never subscribed to it. I probably could have used to because I used to dress up every day. For work, and I don't really have to. So I've like my mind is like shifted away from that. But I kind of feel like anytime you can, because we still love the mailbox. It doesn't matter how many. It doesn't matter like the technological generation we live in. I think there's still something there. If you get something in the mail or a package. Right, a package shows up.
Well, people have said, why don't you just ship all 9 gift cards at once? Well, obviously that'd be great because we would have to pay for shipping one time. Because our expenses with this are hefty. We did not quite know, but we are happy to do it.
And Lauren's
she's my director of operations.
Director of operations.
Yep. Okay. Basically, I do all the content, and literally she is directing every arm and leg and toe of everything else.
That's awesome.
And keeps my head on. It would save us money, but it is so fun to receive something.
Yeah. So
we really care about experience, and it really comes back to the people. I mean, how cool that you live in Madison, Alabama, and we have something just for you. Like if we can aid your quality of life, like, sure. What a win.
Going back to Joey. So I don't really want to dive into, because I know
Carlucci.
No, Joey Cece.
Oh, Cece.
I love Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
And Joe Carlucci, Joey Cece, yeah.
We should also take this time to
profess our love for Joe Carlucci.
Him and Tori.
Tori
from
my girl,
from ZYP. That's right. Tori at WZ.
Tori, I love you. You're one of my best friends. And Evan. They're just our people.
That's right. Tori was my guest episode number 6.
Yeah, I remember. And
then I interviewed Sam. Do you know who Sam I am?
Oh gosh, love Sam.
I interviewed her episode 43, cool. And she sang that Kid Rock and that duet.
Okay.
That's like her karaoke song.
Oh.
Who is it?
I need to go karaokeing with her.
It's really
Champies.
She's good. She's a really good singer. Okay. I was like, you go, girl. Like she just started singing. She
just busted it out. Yeah. You don't want me to do that.
But I brought that up for a reason.
And
Joey. Oh, so I know your answer. If I was to say, hey, how do you handle criticism and all that? You're saying, listen, it's all about the why, no one's really, you kind of start with the end in mind and what you're doing.
Backwards
map. And there's going to be those people that just, okay, they don't get it. But by and large, you don't get that much negative feedback. I don't get any feedback. And if I do, there's only been one time it was negative feedback. And all I did was reply and say, thank you for your opinion.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much for your opinion.
Have a great day.
However, the thing that I was talking with Joey about,
okay,
now that the soccer field has been, Joe Davis Stadium has been revitalized,
right,
and the soccer team is there, and
it's
that's
beautiful.
Awesome. But somewhere along the way, someone was like, well, I'm just so glad that South Huntsville has something. Uh-oh. That was weird. Wait, did that just turn black, or is that me? They said, just so glad that South Huntsville has something, and maybe there's going to be, I wonder if there's going to be impact on Toyota Field, and it kind of, or Huntsville versus Madison, type stuff. Whether it comes in the form of feedback, but I also know, let me also set up this point to keep things simple. And we just talked about social media being an example of, hey, for right now, you're going to do Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
And that's it. So when it comes to All Things Madison, you're not trying to be All Things Huntsville, because it's going to be far easier for you to manage your business if you only have to drive 5 miles.
You got it.
To any 5 square miles or 10 square miles. That's it. You're limiting your reach and your scope. And of course, we're in a hot area because it's going to keep expanding. Do you get some, what about Huntsville? So what about Huntsville? How come we don't have an All Things Huntsville? Hey, I would say you got the green light. Go start that on your own, right? And Erica Despain has given you the business model for being successful.
Yeah.
Does that come over in any way in some of the negative feedback and or just concerns or the like?
I couldn't count on my fingers and toes how many people have asked me to please do what I do in other places, and not just here locally. I mean, all over the country.
Wow.
I mean, people, they see it and they see that it's useful and they wish they had it and they want me to do it, but I cannot do it because I don't know your city, care about your city, understand. I cannot do it authentically. I can go cover the restaurant. That doesn't mean I can speak. I can speak about anything off the cusp. I have an answer for almost everything because I have truly educated myself on what's up, and can speak about Madison Square Mall and Bob Jones being built. I remember them putting the letters on the school.
Yeah.
I can't speak about Grissom.
Yeah.
So what people have said, though, is, hey, I have another location in Huntsville. Can you please cover it? Or who do you recommend to cover it? And the thing is, there are other online presences that are doing media and forms of advertising, but everyone has a different model. So you've got to look at their work and see if it works for you. Because for me, there are some businesses that will never probably reach out to me because they maybe aren't interested in my model of advertising. So if I'm your cup of tea, great.
Yeah.
If not, I mean, I can't I don't think I could replicate what I do in Huntsville. And that's just no fault of Huntsville's.
And that's probably just sour grapes if that does happen.
It's not criticism. It's more like we just wish that we had that.
Yeah. Now, with Lauren being on board, so did the idea of the gift cards and stuff come before you hired her?
It started end of 2020.
Okay. Oh, it did. Mm-hmm. So it's been going on. And I'm sorry, I'm ignorant. I feel bad now. I should know.
Oh, no, you shouldn't know. No one's really ever asked me. I mean, It was one of those things. There's just only so much you can do on your own.
Yeah.
And also when you work on your own, you're limited to your own thinking, your own ideas. And I knew I had to invest in someone who could help bring new ideas to the table that I had no idea about.
Yeah.
So Lauren and I's skill sets are very different, but we have similar interests. So you combine what she's good at and what I'm good at, and we're able to do the things we're doing.
Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Did you, in your mind, do you think in movies at all? Like,
did I what?
Do you think like in like scenes in movies at all? Like, how's it relates to your life?
No, I don't watch movies.
Okay.
I fall asleep.
Before you got Lauren.
Okay.
Was there a period of time where you're just kind of feeling like overwhelmed? You know what you want to accomplish, but you just can't get there because, you're also a mother, 3 children. You try to end your day at 3:00.
Yeah.
And for them, and you might look at email, but you're not going to start writing emails till 8:00 in the morning.
Sure.
The next day, right? Yeah. So, you're just kind of, you feel like you're on this island and you're stuck and you can't get off. So therefore, this is what happened to me. So Castaway is this movie.
I love Castaway.
Okay.
I've seen Castaway.
Do you remember when he's just stuck, right? And he's charting how long he's been there.
Right.
And then one day he hears something and that side of the porta potty washes up and that becomes his sail. And he's able to build the boat and get off the island. So
I need to go watch that movie now.
And that's like when I was doing my live streaming company originally, I had this, and I could show you, I can't cue it up now. I could show you afterwards, but I built my own press box that was on the field because then I could sell advertising on it.
Sure.
They weren't going to let me sell advertising on their press box.
Okay.
Because you've got boosters that put, their advertising and their sponsors that have their banners but the only way I was going to make money, and I had a very expensive production to pull this off. And I got to a point where I was stuck because I knew that I couldn't do it all.
Yeah.
And it was probably 5 times more complicated than what I have in this room.
Yeah.
With a statistician and a color commentator and 4 cameras and instant replay and on, right? Just for a high school game. But I also wanted to do it to show that I could do it.
Yeah.
And to show people what you can actually do with just a little bit of ingenuity and efficiency, right? So this intern, I remember I was leaving this game and it would take me 12 hours to set up the box on a Friday.
Okay.
I would take off every other Friday for these home games, and it would take me all day to run this cable, and I'm sweating
every other week.
Unless I had some help, but nobody really wanted to help me. Anyway, I'm going home from this game, and I'm just tired. It's 11:00 at night, and I'm it's just providing any value to anybody. Am I ever going to make any money? And I get this email from this kid. He's like, dude, I really love to help you out. I just stumbled upon your recordings. It looks really awesome.
Yeah.
And he becomes like that sail. He gets me off the island, and then boom, just with him, then I was able to start doing more games.
Wow.
Because now he wanted to do broadcasting, but he also understood the technical side.
Right.
And then he became my producer. We actually did instant replay because now he's producing it, right?
Wow.
And it just took us to a whole nother level.
Yeah. Which is so gratifying.
And that must have awesome to get Lauren on board. And that can be trial and error. Anytime you're hiring people,
it was so terrifying.
That's not easy. How many applicants did you consider?
I had 32 applicants.
Did you really?
And I interviewed probably 8. I knew what I wanted. I knew what I needed.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt good about it. I was terrified. I thank Lauren every single day for hanging on with me and helping me learn how to be a boss. It's very different to be a leader versus a manager of real adults.
Sure.
Lauren's 42-year-old, self-sufficient woman. She's no kid, and she deserves to have a great place of employment.
Yeah.
With predictability and all the things. And I want to make sure that I rise to the occasion for her, because she could go do anything.
And good for you to go through kind of that objective process where you're interviewing people and you get to make the decision, right? You narrow down 32 applicants to 8 interviews and ultimately you choose between 2 or 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
Have them back for another interview.
Right.
But versus you someone's friend and you know them, but you realize very quickly you don't know them.
That's right.
And it goes sour and you're not sure how to break things up because it's going to have this long-term effect on friendships and all that, right?
Yeah, we have a firm rule in our home, my husband and I, we will not do business or anything financial with family or friends. We will not buy a property with, this is just the Despains. We are very relational people and love our family and friends. I mean, like, people are the most important thing to us. And we just don't.
Keep it that way.
We don't want, it works for people. It works for people to go in on investments and business together. It is not something we ever want to do.
Yeah.